Are doing amazing today. We are talking about pouring from an empty cup. That honestly, many of us do, and somehow feel like it's okay. I'm needed. I'm just going to do all these things and it's going to be good. When in actuality, it's not. Let's just call it. So, we're going to go through these points really quickly in terms of beating burnout, beating overwhelm. It is very real. It is something that honestly we as women have dealt with for way too long and have stayed silent about for various reasons. And I'm here to chip away at that a little bit for you so that you can reimagine, you can rethink what that means in terms of filling yourself up, what that means to function in fullness. So let's get into it. First things first. When we talk about burnout, when we talk about exhaustion, we're talking about adrenal fatigue in the goodness gracious, we're talking about adrenal fatigue in the super moms group, right? We're going, you know what, we're super women that are dropping out. We're just super women dropouts. We were bringing up this idea of, you know what, it's possible for our bodies to just go, you know what, we shut down, we're done. Okay. And as much as we can make physical changes, something to keep in mind that's really key is to check your foundation. And when I say the foundation, thinking about what you believe to be true. For many of us, whether it was our mother, our grandmother, our aunts, we repeatedly saw women pouring out from empty cups. And we latched on to this idea that that's just what good moms do. That's just what a good working woman does. That's just what we do. Here's the truth. Okay, because this has to be reset in order for anything that you do action wise to change. It has to start here. You need to realize that you're not a machine. I had to come to that realization. I am not a machine. As much as I'd love to be able to do things without any kind of emotion and to just do the things and just be really mechanical and just power through, that is not who I am. That's not who you are either. We are human, and that's a beautiful thing. We are finite. We serve an infinite creator. It's okay. We are not designed to do this all on our own. Second was recognizing that there are expectations that we either have for ourselves as women or we've received from other women, whether it's the, well, why aren't you doing something? Or the snide comment, or the look, or even this feeling of, okay, I'm not doing enough. We need to reset that. Just push the reset button. Okay. Because when we're in that place where we believe that the only way that a good woman functions is when she is empty and burned out and with a smile on her face, we've got a problem. That's not okay. Okay. First off, which then brings us to the second point of priorities and boundaries. When we live in a space where we look to other people to define for us what's true, when we're looking to others to set the expectations or to set the priorities, let's just be honest. Most people, when they're going to set priorities, are going to do it for what's best for them because that's the natural thing to do. Totally okay. You, however, yourself need to set your own priorities. You need to set your own healthy boundaries. Why? Because when you recognize what matters most for you, then that will help tremendously in weeding out all the extra actions and all the extra responsibilities, expectations, duties, whatever you want to call them, that are currently in your space or may in the future desire to come into your space. So you go, I'm sorry, it's just not, this doesn't work. It doesn't fit. This doesn't flow with the priorities. It doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. It just means that it's not a good fit for you, right? So just like you can say, you know what, chocolate is amazing. Would I use chocolate to make roasted veggies? Would I use chocolate to make a black bean burger? I wouldn't. That would be kind of weird. It's not that it's bad, it just isn't a good fit. And it not being a good fit does not make it a bad thing. Okay. If you are in the Supermoms group, there is in the guide section, Bulletproof Your Family. In there, we go through and talk about the different core values and whatnot, and it walks that through. You can check that out, and that'll be really helpful in that area. Next is to discover your gifting. And I say this from a place where many times we will run ourselves ragged and we will burn ourselves out attempting to do something that's not a good fit for us. Okay, so the same way that we look at an action and go, you know what, in the future, I'm just going to let that go because it's not a good fit. There may be things that we're doing right now that are in our zone of incompetence, meaning somehow I'm just going to muscle my way through because this is the expectation of what a mom does, what a wife does, what a woman does, but it's not a good fit for you. It's okay. When you figure out and you discover what your gift is, what your genius is, that gives you greater permission to do the following. Ask for help. You are not okay. You can choose to be Superwoman if you want. I have chosen to release that. Why? Because when I take on that role of Superwoman, that means that I'm saying that I'm going to just do everything and nobody else can do anything for me. I negate everybody else's gift around me because I can handle it all. We were designed to work and live and function in community together. When we recognize that, you know what, I'm really solid in this one area, but I am not so great in another, that means that there's a way for there to be an exchange. Okay. I am not awesome in the housekeeping department. Gonna call it, right? I'm amazing at cooking. Housekeeping is not my thing. So do I go, well, I'm just going to muscle through? No, I find ways to make it fit, to make it work. Does that mean that I reach out to a friend and we create an exchange? Does it mean that I have someone who comes over and they help with cleaning? Does it mean that I ask my family for all of us to come together as a team and to clean up together? Whatever it is that needs to be done, it involves asking for help. So instead of just going, I'm just going to muscle it and take it. No, it's okay. It really is. Okay. Ask for help. Which brings up this last point of establishing healthy systems and routines. This is something that I'm recognizing now more than ever, that when we find ourselves in a place of overwhelm, right, it's because it's attempting to do too many things. So creating the priorities helps. Understanding what we choose to keep and what we don't also helps. But also when we create for ourselves a rhythm and a flow that's healthy, it then means that whatever flows alongside that, awesome. And if it doesn't, then we need to consider, is this really a good fit? Okay. And this is one point that I'm really going to be excited to dive into in our Facebook group. We're going to be doing a study here pretty soon of Atomic Habits. I'm going to be doing a book club reading of it. It's a phenomenal book. Do I have it here with me? I do. Okay. So really great book. Highly recommend it. We're going to be reading it through section by section. And if you'd like to join and be a part of that, just type habits in the comment section below so that way I can keep you up to date on when we get that started. Because no matter what, if we're in this place of just allowing for life to pull us in all sorts of different directions, that means that we're not going to be able to walk in our vision and our purpose. Because we'll be too busy putting out fires right around us and not able to flow and go forward. Okay. I say this out of love, and I say this as someone who experienced that and was in that space of feeling like I wasn't worthy unless I was empty, and not in a good way, in a very unhealthy, burned out, fatigued way. That is not the model that I ultimately desire for my children to have. That is not the model that I desire for other women to have. So we get to shift the narrative. We get to shift direction and say something different. We get to do something different. And I'm excited if you choose to come along this amazing new journey with me for us to do it together. So with that, I'm going to actually hop off of here because we're going to be doing an action and accountability chat in the Facebook group. If you'd like to join, you can click the link below and hop on in there with us. And with that, know that you are amazing. Know that you're worthy of being filled. That's its own conversation about how you get filled up. In the meantime, walk through these and you'll be well on your way.